Barend, do you consider yourself a hero or a psychotic killer?
I'm a Boer freedom fighter and I'm a soldier for my country, my people and my religion.
Good evening. A gunman went on the rampage in central Pretoria today, shooting down 3 people and wounding 16 others.
The first news of the killings, inaccurate though it was almost as clinical as the cold-blooded way Barend Strydom dispatched his victims. It was here that Strydom's day of infamy began 4 years ago. He chose this most public place in South Africa's capital. He was planning murder, but ever so calmly. He even remembered to feed a parking meter. It was just after lunch and office workers were drifting back to their desks. Pistol in hand, Strydom began his carnage in this leafy garden at the side of the square. Were you running or walking when you got to here?
When I came here, I was walking, and I actually shot the first black there.
How far away were you?
Just we are
3 or 4 meters.
Yeah. Then I walked on this road until there.
Oh, I see. There's another alcove over here.
Yeah. So I actually shot another black here.
Oh, this is the chap that was eating the hamburger.
Yeah, he was eating the hamburger, and he didn't thought I will actually shot him. So he smiled at me, and so I shot him afterwards in the stomach.
Right, then what?
Then I shot another one here.
That's 3 so far?
Yeah, that's 3 so far.
You see these couple of blacks sitting here now?
Yeah.
Would you like to shoot them?
Another times, yes.
So this is where you actually crossed the street, was it?
Yeah, this is where I crossed the street, yes.
Were you shooting at this time?
No, not at this stage.
How are you?
I'm a footman.
Who's this chap?
Yeah.
Who is he?
No, I don't know him. He's a fan.
What's he saying? Congratulations?
Yeah, he's saying congratulations.
Do you speak any English?
Yes, I can speak English.
What were you telling him?
I'm telling him congratulations. You did what nobody has got the guts to do.
He did the right thing?
Yeah, I think so.
I find a white woman sitting in the car and the 2 children.
Yes.
So I see a black man here. He was standing here, so I pulled him away and I shot him here.
So you pulled him away from the car to shoot in this direction?
Yeah, in this direction so that I don't hurt the whites that were sitting in the car.
What would you have done if you'd actually shot a white?
It would be a disaster thing.
By this stage, Strydom had shot 5 victims in the square. He went on to claim another 6 while walking down the street. Men, women, council workers, flower sellers. To him, it mattered not so long as they were black. Were you feeling good?
Yes, I was feeling very good, yes.
Would you like to do it again?
Not in a normal situation, but always yes.
Tell me this, if I could give you a gun now, would you like to go over and shoot those blacks over there?
Definitely, yes.
While Barend Strydom now walks free, Upa Mabina will never walk again. He's one of 15 survivors of Strydom's murderous rampage. He's 44 and the father of 2 boys. Did you see Barend Strydom's eyes or his face when he was shooting?
Yes, I saw him.
What expression was on his face?
He was smiling.
Smiling when he shot you?
Yes.
Tell me, when you kill a black man, do his children miss him, their father, as much as a white child would miss its father if it died?
Ik val so, ja.
Yes, I do think so.
And the black wife would grieve as much as a white wife?
So dat is moontlik.
Yes, it's possible.
But what if you had killed a black policeman who was off duty, a supporter of your regime, effectively? Barend, this is not a funny matter at all. You're a murderer. It's not a funny matter. It's not something to laugh at, surely.
He would have been in the same category as other black people.
Young Barend grew up in what would appear to be a normal South African family. His home was in Heidelberg, a white community south of Johannesburg. He went to church, played with his friends, and learned politics from his father.
At school, he was working very hard, active in practicing karate. He was a good boy.
Were you proud of him?
I was very proud of him. I still am.
Still proud of him today?
Yeah.
He appears to have no regrets about what he did. Do you have any regrets?
No, I don't. Because I think what he did was the right thing at the right time.
At his trial here at Pretoria's Palace of Justice, the judge described Strydom as a danger to the community. He went on to say of his crimes that they were callous and heinous to an extent that he had never before experienced. The judge then made legal history by sentencing Strydom to death 8 times. As the sentence was passed, Strydom smiled.
He smiles at the wrong times and the wrong things.
Dr. Irma Labuschagne is a criminologist who examined Strydom before his trial. Doctor, this fellow seems quite a nice man when you first meet him.
Smiling.
Yes?
All violent murderers that I know are very nice people. They all seem that way. You will not know in the way they behave towards you how cruel they can be.
But he says this was a political act. He's a warrior fighting a war.
Would you take the politics of people in asylums for the insane seriously?
And that's the way to look at him, isn't it?
That's the way I would see this.
Strydom claimed his crimes were political and that he was quite sane. The jury agreed he was sane, but decided he was also a killer. The death penalty was handed down, but 4 years later, Strydom is free in the interests of improved race relations.
We let him go because it was part of the whole process of getting negotiations going again with the ANC.
Dave Stewart is the official spokesman for the South African government.
So we had a principle that if a crime had been committed with a political motive before the 9th of October 1990, then that person qualified for amnesty, whether he was black, white, ANC, or this guy, Barend Strydom.
But surely a man who walks down the street shooting blacks at random is not following any recognized political philosophy.
I think that he did it with a political motive. It is very difficult to assess what a political motive is, but we had to lay down a clear principle, even though it meant releasing reprehensible people across the spectrum.
Can you see him doing it again now that he's out?
He has said so. He himself has said so. And the things he does these days, yes, I do believe that he may commit other murders, yes.
Let me play a tape of what he said to me on the streets of Pretoria here just the other day. Tell me this. If I could give you a gun now, would you like to go over and shoot those blacks over there?
Definitely, yes.
It's just disgusting. But you see, Richard, what do? Do we hold up the whole constitutional process for one person who's a kook?
Tell me, have you still got a gun?
Nee.
Now tell me again, and this time tell the truth. Have you still got a gun?
Nee.
But?
As ek een wil hê, kan ek een gaan koop.
If I want one, I can go and buy one.
In plain man's language, is he a lunatic?
No, he's not, because he wouldn't have been sentenced to death originally if he'd been found to be mad. Psychopath, maybe. Sociopath. But he's not a lunatic.
I think he's a very normal person.
Strydom and his wife Karen married while he was on death row. They had known each other before the massacre. Now they're planning 7 children because, they say, South Africa needs more whites.
Is he a loving man?
Yes, no, I love him.
You love him?
Yes.
Do you think he'll make a good father?
Yes, no, I think they love children also.
Tell me, are you proud of what he did?
It's part of the struggle.
But does that make you proud of him?
I don't want to brag about it. That's not the way we want to do it.
Clearly, though, they want to continue the struggle. Strydom has built a house that's more like a fortress. And if he doesn't have a gun, well, that hardly matters, because around here, there's no shortage.
Is this loaded?
Yeah.
Put a couple up in the air for me.
I'm just taking instructions from my leader.
Here, Strydom is called the leader. His masked companions are known as the White Wolves, and this is their lair. They may be crazy, but they are on the loose. And the way they see it, their job is still ahead of them.
Do you have any regrets?
No, one can only have remorse if one has done something wrong, and I never did anything wrong.
Well, then, would you do the right thing again?
In a given situation, yes.